Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to learn data types in JavaScript. Data types tells JavaScript what kind of values a variable is holding, so the language knows how to handle it. So let us start with what are data types. So in JavaScript, a data type defines the type of data which is stored in a particular variable. For example, numbers are treated differently. For example, this is a number. Numbers are treated differently from text. Text can be this or in and text is treated differently from true or false value. True, false. These are different data types. JavaScript has two main categories of data types. One is primitive data type. Another one is non-primitive data type. Let us start with primitive data types. Primitive data types store simple values, and JavaScript has 7 of them. So in primitive data type, we have primitive data types. First one is number. The in number data type is used for both integers and decimal values. For numbers example, let 8 is equal to 15. This is an integer value. Now, if we want to put a decimal values, let price is equal to 20.5. So this the second one is a decimal decimal value. So in JavaScript, there is no separate type for integers or float. Everything is just a number. If you want to see the type of the variable, you can console log type of function. Use the variable. I'll console log both the variables. Now I'll try to run this. You can see both of these variables are of the type number. Now, so moving on to the next data type, that is string. So strings are used to store text and it must be written inside quotes. It can be the double quotes or single quotes. Unlike Java where strings are written in double quotes, here you can write in both single quote or double quote. Let us see an example. Let name is equal to John. John is a very good guy. So log the type of this variable. So log the type of this variable. You can see the data type is string. So now let us move on to the next data type, that is Boolean. Boolean data type has only two values, that is either true or false. Let us see an example. Let we will try to check if the user is a member or not. Is member, it is member true? And let's see an example with false as well. It is admin is equal to false. Let's see what is the data type. So log the type of this, so log the type of this variable. Here you can see the type is boolean for both of these variables. So Boolean values are commonly used in conditions and decision makings. Now moving on to the next data type, that is undefined. A variable is said to be undefined when it is declared but not assigned any value. So JavaScript cannot determine the type of this variable. For example, we can say let age age2. Say. Now we'll try to console log the type of this variable. We can see the data type is shown as undefined. That's because there is no value assigned. So JavaScript can determine the type of the variable at the time of assigning the value. Now moving on to the next data type, that is called null data type. Null represents an intentional absence of a value. It- and it is different from undefined. For example, we can declare a variable called username is equal to null, and then we'll try to console log the type of this variable and we'll run it. Here we can see the value is called object, which is null. Now moving on to the next data type, that is big int. Big int Big int is used for large numbers that cannot be handled by regular number types. For example, let large number equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something. Add and now try console log the type of this variable. We can see the output as big int. Here you should be able to see the data type as big int. Okay. Now moving on to the next data type, that is called symbol. The symbol is a unique and immutable, means not modifiable value, which is often used as object keys. For example, let id is equal to symbol of user id, and we'll try to console log the type of this variable, type of id. Here we can see the data type is symbol. So that was about primitive data type. Now moving on to non-primitive data types. So we'll create a variable non-primitive data types. We'll clear the console log. Now, now let us talk about non-primitive data types. So these data types can store multiple values or complex structures. For example, let us The first one is object. Object stores data in key value pairs. For example, let user is equal to, we can give the key as name colon else age. Let's pass the second key as age. Can give some value in terms of number. So this is an object. We can console log the data type, console log type of user. We can see the data type is called object. So object are one of the most important data type in JavaScript. You will use them a lot in bigger projects. Now the second data type is array. So an array is used to store multiple values in a single variable. For example, you want to store a range of colors. You can store the variable as red colors equal to complete these packets, which will signify an array. You can store the values like this: red, green, blue, like this. And now arrays are basically a special type of object. So now let us try to see the data type of this variable used by using this type of colors, log type of colors. You can see this is also an object. The third data type, the third non-primitive data type is function. Functions are also treated as data type in JavaScript. So this is what makes the JavaScript a very flexible language. For example, if you have some action like function greet console log hello, now you can store this in a variable const greet view and now I will console log the data type of this variable and let us see what happens. You can see the data type is function. So these are so so that's all about the primitive and non-primitive data types. So to summarize, JavaScript has primitive and non-primitive data types, and understanding them is very essential for writing clean and error-free code. If you found this video useful, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.